Girafarig, which is actually not too bad. I do have a shiny Girafarig already, but getting a second one wouldn't be bad, just given that it does have an evolution in, well, coming up pretty soon, given that they're starting to release the Paldean Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that we'll get Girafarig's evolution, which is Frigograph? Or I cannot remember its name. It's something like that. So, yeah, I've got my route going today, which is good. I haven't forgotten. So we'll get into this. We will get our route done. We will get hopefully a shiny. We've had pretty good luck with the shinies over the past recent times. Last Spotlight Hour was actually pretty good. We ended up with 3 shinies out of 1 Spotlight Hour, all different ones as well. So hopefully we can have that good luck again. It is double catch XP tonight as well. So we'll jump into this, and yeah, we will do some catching, maybe. Perhaps, yes. Friggin' Girafarig. Oh my god. I swear, if you don't stay this time, I'm just going to abandon you because you're giving me issues. Alright, there we go. We actually got it in the bag. We should be able to get to our 1,000 Pokemon tonight as well for the Master Ball research if we can get some catches down. So we will do that. They are also weather boosters. I swear, if this is what it's going to be like for the whole Spotlight Hour, then this might be a bit of an issue. Get my charger just in case. And it also seems fairly quiet at this point. Where is everybody? Did y'all get notifications that I was going live? Because, you know, where is everybody? YouTube? Have you, like, shadow banned me for some reason? Wouldn't surprise me, because YouTube sucks. Shouldn't say stuff like that, because it'll probably get me shadow banned even further. Alrighty, let's do it. So it's another really nice day today. Still like 20 degrees at the moment, so a bit of wind, shouldn't be too bad. This is the only drawback of Girafarig. It is actually fairly high CP sort of thing, so we might get a bit of issues when it comes to catching. We'll see how we go. So actually, I will do a quick check to see. Giraffe. Okay, so yeah, we're on 1 shiny Girafarig, which has terrible stats, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get a decent one tonight. And yeah. So I actually don't have a lot of Girafarigs at all in my storage. Because this is actually a fairly rare spawn. You don't see Girafarig very often, sort of thing. So, I guess I'll ask, how's everybody doing? Hey, Andrew, how you going? Sorry, the chat wasn't actually popping up. And Man, how you doing? So Andrew and Man, able to lucky egg. Yes, probably, because it is double catch XP, so I should chuck on a lucky egg. I don't really tend to do that very often, just because XP isn't really an issue at this. But yes, I should actually chuck on a lucky egg. Makes sense given that I am doing some catching, so thank you for reminding me. And it's not like I'm running low on lucky eggs. We have 23 of them. Speaking of eggs, maybe I should chuck some on, given that I do actually have to hatch some eggs for this research, the Master Ball research. Honestly, the eggs are probably the thing which are going to take me the longest to do, so I don't really hatch very many eggs. Mega Makengi. I could probably do that too. I don't actually know if I've got enough Mega Candy to do a Kangaskhan, to be honest. I will have to have a look. Megas. Kangaroo. Yes, I actually do. So, why not? Again, thank you for... If it wasn't for you guys, I'd forget to do everything. You've done 25 eggs so far. So, there you go. See, I haven't even done my Mega Evolution for Kangaskhan before, so we've got that done. So, Mega Evolve the Kangaskhan. I have done... How many eggs have I done for? Not many. I think I've done like 7 or something. Yeah, 7. 7 out of 30. So, I mean, I'm almost 1/3 of the way through it. So, I'll just check these little dudes. And then... So we'll chuck another one of these. And we'll save the 10s. Because if we get more 10s, and I'll chuck them all on at the same time, sort of thing. Yeah, so how did everybody end up going during the Oddish research day? How many shinies did you guys end up getting? Oh, fantastic. I will take that. Fingers crossed that this Halloween event will actually get shiny Phantom. I think it's about time that they got around to doing that. So shiny Trevenant and shiny Phantom. You forgot. Oh, you didn't play it. You forgot. That's alright. I think a lot of people may have given it a miss, sort of thing, given that it wasn't the most popular of Pokemon that they could have chosen for a research day. I already had 4 shinies myself, and then I ended up with 8 for the day. So I've got, what, 12 shiny Oddish now. So yeah, it's not the most ideal Pokemon. They could have chosen something that was probably a little bit more interesting. I think that would have got more people involved in the actual event, even though I did see quite a few people out in the park where I was playing, which was good to see. It was a nice day. So yeah, there was groups of people sort of wandering around for the day, which is something you don't see very often anymore with Pokemon Go. It seems to have died off quite significantly, and so you don't really see a lot of people active. I mean, for instance, now there's like most spotlight hours, if not all the spotlight hours, I tend to be the only person that's down here actually doing. I miss the good old days where people were actually interested in the game. Imagine a legendary research day. That'd be nice. I can't see them ever doing it though. Unfortunately, I think they're going to keep legendaries restricted to raids just because it gives, people a reason to actually raid, sort of thing. That's one of the main reasons why they removed them from the weekly breakthroughs, because people weren't, doing enough raids, I don't think. So that's disappointing. We haven't seen one in a weekly breakthrough for years now. You can get them from Great Battle League, but again, Great Battle League, there's a paid element to it, so I can understand why they give people access to them during the paid research. Oh, not the paid research, that, just because it's got a paid element to it. And there's some more Phantom down here, so it looks like it might actually be a nest. And it's still very quiet. I don't know where are all the regs? Did YouTube just not send out a notification? Did you guys get a thing? A notification that I was going live? And also, hello Marvel Edits. Sorry man, I thought you were man because it's got both M, so it all sort of like... There was no distinguishing between you and man when it came to the names because they're both green M's on my screen. You got one? Okay. Well, that's good, but yeah. Where is everybody else? It is quiet. Okay, you're Marvel. I'm sorry, Andrew, I should say Marvel, bro. You are both Andrew and Marvel. Nice. It's a bit of a shame that Phantom isn't it's not as useful as it used to be. I mean, it used to be one of the staple Pokemon for PvP, like competitive PvP. Trevenant was pretty dominant, but it got a bit nerfed, so it's not as dominant as it used to be. It sort of fell out of just use during the last bunch of PvP tournaments, or last year's season at this point. Because we had Worlds recently, so yeah, last season for competitive Pokemon Go tournament sort of thing, yeah, it just wasn't as useful as it used to be. But yeah, as I was saying, hopefully this year during the Halloween event we get it as a shiny, because it is a nice shiny. And yeah, the Halloween events are usually some of the better events that we get. I mean, most years, yeah, the Halloween events are pretty good. So it's actually not far. It's only like a month. I mean, it should start a bit earlier than that, but yeah, a few weeks. We should get our Halloween event starting. So that's. So yeah, tomorrow night, my neck, ow. For Raid Hour, it is Genesect. Again, Niantic screwed up, and Blast Burn Genesect wasn't available, or still isn't available until tomorrow, and they didn't really tell anybody until like yesterday or something like that. So a bunch of people wasted raid passes trying to get Blast Burn shiny earlier in the week. But yeah, they didn't state that it wasn't available until tomorrow. So if you are interested in getting a Blast Burn Genesect, be sure to tune into tomorrow night's stream. We'll be hosting for as long as we can. Genesect, it's an easy raid boss. It's double weakness to fire, just like last week's, being Steel Bug. So yeah, nice easy raid boss. Shiny Phantom is okay, cool. So they've already confirmed it. It's just hard to stay up to date with all the news, everything that they announce, because they announce things so early now. I mean, it used to be that they would announce things sort of during, like, before the event started sort of thing, not 3 months beforehand. So yeah, it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on in the game, especially since their news tab isn't the best. The news tab has a tendency of not updating and keeping stuff on there for like weeks past its actual usefulness. So yeah, it's one thing that I think they could really fix, just being a little bit more consistent with the news, like updating it more often. Stay in the ball, please. Girafarig. So yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, it's not a bad shiny Girafarig, but it could be a bit better. Might be why it's a little bit quiet tonight, just because people are just like, shiny Girafarig, not really interesting. Miss Xenobite, how you doing? Good morning and good luck with the hunt, thank you. Good afternoon and thank you. Hey, there we go. Alright, 15 minutes in and we got the shiny Girafarig. Nice. Alright, well that's 2 weeks in a row now that we've gotten the shiny. It must have been your shiny vibes which actually got us the shiny. So thank you, Miss Cenobite. Hey Tef, how you doing? Welcome in. It's interesting that they gave a giant throw target for double XP. Yeah. I'm just happy that I got the shiny. Happy to help. Well, I'm happy that you helped. Thank you. Yeah, we've actually had really good luck with the shinies lately. Like I said, we got 3 shinies during last week's Spotlight Hour. We hatched a shiny Munchlax. We got the shiny Mankey, and then afterwards we got a shiny Houndour. So yeah, and then we got the shiny Girafarig. So now I have 2, so hopefully once they release Farigograph, or whatever it's bloody called, we can evolve one of them. So yeah, typical shiny odds, shiny stats aren't the greatest, but thanks Tef. Came in just at the right time to see the shiny. That's good. And as you can see, I've got my my route running properly this week, Tef. So yeah, I'll actually be able to finish it. And it will be my first route, surprisingly, because it's been so long since we've actually been able to add them. Or only been so long, rather. Yeah, they've given us a fairly easy one for the double XP sort of thing to hit, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass to actually catch, because it is a high CP one, so they are a little bit jumpy as well, like that, so they keep breaking out, and they're a fairly aggressive Pokemon, which is a little bit annoying. True, they are weather boosted as well, so that's also adding to the CP. But it's weird. I mean, it's clear skies. It is a little bit windy, but there's like clear skies. There's not a cloud. Well, there's a few over there, but I would hardly call it cloud. It's like pretty clear. It should be sunny weather. Not that I'm complaining, I mean, they are weather boosted. We'll hopefully get a decent IV one. Not that I think that Girafarig is really useful for PvP, though. I'm actually really surprised as well. It's been spring now for a couple of weeks, and my hay fever hasn't kicked in this year. Now, usually by this time of year, my hay fever is actually fairly bad. Haven't really been affected by it at all, which is good. Hopefully I'll have a good season this year, because I can get really bad hay fever, which I hate. I hate hay fever so much. It's horrible, just having stuffy, itchy nose, and basically your whole head just feels like... Anybody that suffers from hay fever knows what it's like. It's like being sick, but you're not actually sick. Okay, we're slowly getting people trickling in here. It's good to see. Welcome everybody that has just come in. We've already got the shiny, so we've had good luck. But yeah, it's just been a quiet night so far, so I'm wondering if people got notifications. I know some people have, but it might be YouTube is just not sending out notifications like it should be. Because we seem to be missing a lot of our regulars. You might be able to get out and hunt Giraffe Boy during Spotlight Hour. Nice. Hopefully you do. It's like a dog throw up there. It's just dog spew in the middle of the path. That's just fantastic. I'm glad I didn't step in it. Hey Ryan, how you doing? Hello, hello. Welcome in. How are you doing? Oh, did you end up getting out to do the research day, Tef? And if so, how did you do? You're over your COVID mostly? Good. Gee, how long have you had it now? Like, you got out a little? Okay, cool. Yeah, how long have you had the COVID for now? It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? Only since the 10th. Okay. It's not too bad, but I mean, still nearly 2 weeks. But you're back to work on this. Okay. So it obviously wasn't too bad, which is good. Because yeah, it really varies from person to person. Some people get absolutely decimated by it, and some people don't really get affected by it at all. I mean, some people are just asymptomatic, they don't have any symptoms, and then yeah, other people unfortunately end up dying from it. So yeah, it's a weird thing. And as I was saying last week, I'm sure that I haven't had it. Like I said, I was sick like a month and a half, 2 months back. But I did a test and supposedly it wasn't COVID. But I don't know, it was a different sort of sickness because it was a very spicy sore throat and stuff like that. It wasn't really a respiratory thing. It was more of like a sinusy sore throat type of thing. So, but yeah, I've never had a sore throat like that before where it was just spicy. There's like swallow and stuff like that. It was so hard to eat and drink just because every time I did, it just felt like somebody was sticking a soldering iron down my throat. Had fever, cough, that was basically it. We're already 4 Pokies away from the 1,000. I've been doing a lot more catching lately, not just because of the quest, but just in general. Some of the bonuses that we've been getting from events and stuff like that have just been worth actually catching instead of just shiny checking. Like we had the double start, no, triple. It was triple Stardust, wasn't it, from the last event? And then we got double XP tonight. But had shiny Oddish ×1 and shiny Paris, which has haunted you for ages. You didn't play the entire event. That's good that you got I wouldn't say an off-brand shiny, but something that wasn't just Oddish. I didn't see any other shinies except the Oddish. Wasn't really clicking on too much though. I was focused on doing mainly the research tasks, so if I was clicking on a bit more of the wild spawns, I may have seen another shiny. But none of the wild spawns I actually need for shiny, so I wasn't really too focused on them. I mean, I didn't need Oddish either, but it was the event Pokemon, so I was more focused on that than thing. The quadruple dust and XP was amazing. Yeah, that's why I was actually catching stuff, just because usually I'm just shiny checking a lot there. Oh my god. Listen, Giraffe, stay in the ball, buddy. Yeah, usually I'm just shiny checking these days for the most part. If they gave us more events like that, I would probably be catching a lot more often. And it wasn't just that. I mean, the spawns that we're getting weren't too bad as well. I mean, we had the new starters. I did get a shiny Lechonk, which I was pretty happy with. And it's good to see that they're still spawning. Like, they're not as common as they were during the event, obviously. But we're still seeing all the new Pokemon spawning. Because a lot of the time when they do stuff like that, they release the new stuff, then they just sort of disappear. We just get our average spawns. So it's good to see that they're sort of still in rotation. Dude, 9,360 XP for an excellent throw with a lucky egg. Gonna get to level 42. Nice, dude. Congrats on getting to level 42. Slowly getting through the grind. Honestly, I could probably be at level 50 by now if I put in more effort. Like, all I need to do is do the evolution, the maxing out of 3 Pokemon to go up to level 47 at this point. I just haven't got around to doing it. I have the Pokemon that I can do it, like, power up, but I don't know. It's hard to, like, decide, like, especially stuff like Mewtwo. I need like 20 more XLs to be able to max that out. But I have a 98%. I have a couple of 98%, but one's already at level 40 sort of thing. And I have like a 98% shiny. That's like, do I waste the XLs on powering one of them up, or do I wait and just see if I can get that hundo at some point and then have that to power up? Because if I power up one of the 98% or 96%ers, as good as that'll be, it's just, if I get a hundo after it, I'll just be like, oh, god damn it, no. Now I got to stockpile another 292 candies or whatever it is, XLs to get another one. And getting the XLs for legendaries was hard enough before they did the nerf, but because they've done the nerf for the raids now, I mean, it's so much harder than it used to be. You're 21 mil away from level 50. You've done all your tasks. Still 21 million though. That's a lot of XP. And it's probably good that I am doing a lot of catching and stuff now, especially during these double XP events, because I'm still going to need a bit of XP. I'm hoping that once I do actually finally level up to 47, I've done most of the XP already, sort of thing, because I'm already over what I need by 5 or 6 million, 7 million, something like that. I haven't checked for a while. I missed already having the XP done, because the first 5 levels after level 40, I already had that XP stockpiled, so not having to worry about the XP was nice. I'm sad that didn't last longer. Considering you're at 9 mil after only 3 months isn't too bad. Not too bad. I mean, 9 mil, that's quite significant. Like I said, we've had a lot of double XP events and stuff like that, so it's definitely helped. And I mean, the XP gains are so much easier now than what they used to be. I mean, back when the game first came out, I mean, trying to get XP was so difficult. All you really had was catching Pokemon, and that was about it. Or hatching eggs. Like back before they put raids in and stuff. casual player. Yeah, I've become a lot more of a casual player than I used to be. Like, I used to go pretty hard. But yeah, I don't know, I think it was just when the game started getting a bit repetitive. I mean, it's been repetitive for a long time. But yeah, just when Niantic started showing that they don't care as much about the game, that's when I started losing a bit of interest. Not so much losing interest, but just that drive to want to grind constantly just sort of started dropping off as well, because I was like, well, if they don't care about the game, like they're just letting it get stagnant, then, you know, I get a bit bored with it. Hey Becky, welcome in. And Negan, welcome in, guys. You're only half an hour late, that's okay. How you guys doing? You missed it, we already got the shiny. We got it like 15 minutes ago. So, welcome in, guys. So yeah, got a second Girafarig. So I'm pretty happy with that. We've had good luck with the shinies. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get another one. Gives me a bit of trade stuff. Trade stuff. Because as I was saying before, you know, Girafarig is a rarer spawn. You don't see it very often, so there'll probably be some people which would be interested in a shiny of it. If I can get another one. You already have 2 shiny giraffes? Oh, you don't need to worry about tonight, do you? I'm almost finished with my route. Unfortunately, I have not seen a a shard. Crystal. You have 4 already. How? Like I was just saying there, it's a fairly rare spawn, so you don't get it very often. How do you already have 4 of them? Here I was thinking I was special because I have 2 of them now, and you guys have just made me look like an amateur. A Johto tour last year, and Global Go Fest. Oh yeah, I forgot that they were part of the... Oh yes, that would make sense. No worries, Becky. So is there still, like, yeah, I meant to ask, is there still issues with the stream? Because people were saying during not last week, on the stream on the weekend for Oddish, that the layout was different and they couldn't full screen the stream. Is that still an issue, or has it been fixed? Because it was definitely a YouTube thing. It was nothing that I did, but apparently YouTube was just making it that people couldn't full screen the stream. So yeah, let me know if it's still the same. Nope, still can't full. Okay. Well, that's weird, just because I'm setting up the streams the exact same way that I always have. So I'm assuming that it's a YouTube thing. I don't know why it wouldn't be able to. Not full. Okay. Might want to just wait for the truck so I don't get ran overs. Can't full screen on your laptop. Okay, well that's weird. Yeah, dust. Nah. Got to have a truck. That's nice. Nice face full of dust. Awesome. Well, yeah, hopefully they'll fix that people can't full screen, because I mean it's already small enough without people being able to full screen the stream. Because yeah, there's no settings that have changed on the way that I set up the stream that say anything about it, so it must be something that YouTube's done that's blocking it. they have changed a few things with the ways that the stream's set up lately. Like the thumbnail stuff has changed, and there's just been a few other things which have changed. So maybe it's got something to do with that. You can see the game perfectly, just not... Well, that's probably not the bad thing. Don't look at me, I'm hideous. As long as you guys can see the gameplay, that's the main thing. Alright, we have finished our route. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get one. Nice, got a nice chunk of XP from that as well. Rate the route. We'll give it 5 stars. It was absolutely fantastic. Would recommend it to a friend. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I know it's not guaranteed. But I was still hoping. A girl can dream. And they're easy to miss, yeah. Yeah, I've been clicking on a lot of Pokemon, so one may have popped up. I just didn't see it. Supposedly there was a way that you could guarantee them. I saw some YouTube videos of people saying, like a guaranteed way of getting the Zigrad crystal cell things. Well, you're only here for the face. You've never played Pokemon, never been in your raids. Listen, mate, stay in the bowl. So we've got 20 minutes left. It's gone past pretty quickly so far. Yeah, pause the route with like 50 meters, restart the game, and resume the route. It's supposed to work. You've not been able to try it. Okay. Why didn't you tell me that before? God damn it. You're supposed to tell me these things beforehand. I'll have to try it next time I do one. I think that's the thing. Most people, they've already set the routes up to be along the stops here, though. I think someone, probably me, will have to set one because around the whole trail. No, I said I've seen the videos. I haven't actually watched them. I've just saw the videos on YouTube. Seeing the videos and watching the videos, they're two different things. You need to make a route one day. Same. I got access to making the routes before there was any down here, and I was like, oh, I should make one, and then just didn't get around to doing it, and then somebody else has made them, so I don't need to worry about them. Like I said, I might have to end up being one that goes all the way around the trail, because the two that we've got, basically one starts here and goes back the other way, and then the other one starts where I started and then comes to here. But you can just reverse them anyway, so probably didn't need to make two separate routes that are basically the same thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, one that goes all the way around the trail I think would be good. You followed a route, still says follow 3 routes, but had to quit the route because it didn't finish. Yeah, you have to start it at the actual start of the route. Like, if you don't start it there, then unfortunately it doesn't register it, because that's what happened to me during Comday Classic. Because that's when I first realised that there was routes down here, and I started it halfway through. No, sorry, it was last week during Spotlight Hour for Mankey. It was already like 50, 100 meters into the route sort of thing when I started it. So because I didn't start it from the very beginning, it didn't register. No, I definitely started at the point, told you, oh, okay. Told your mum to park. Wait, were you in the car? Because maybe you were going too fast, because I don't know if it registered. It said if you're going to E. It's huge. It's an actual giraffe. Yeah, because it might be that if you're going too quickly, it doesn't register it because it thinks that you're in the car, sort of thing. It might be actually have to walk them. Yes, you have to walk the whole 1 It's only 1 kilometer, dude. It's not that much. Think of all the eggs that you could hatch during that time. I mean, yeah, it's a lovely night tonight. It's actually beautiful weather for a nice walk, a nice evening walk. I'm actually surprised I've got this much energy because I only slept for like an hour last. No, wait, 2 hours. I went to bed at like 10 a.m. and then got up at midday. I was up all night, like usual. And then I did a workout earlier as well. Like basically, not even earlier. I worked out until basically 5 p.m. until I started getting the stream together. So I'm probably going to be a little bit tired tonight when I finally do get home. But I need to, when I do get home, do this last little bit of figuring out which computer parts that I need, because I really need to actually order these computer parts so I can rebuild the computer and get back into the Starfield streams. It's really just the CPU. Like, I'm still undecided whether I'm going to get an i5 or an i7 sort of thing. I'm leaning more towards the i5 because it's basically like when I'm using the computer for mostly gaming, like there's a bit of creation and stuff like that because of videos and streams and all that sort of stuff. The i7 is more suited for that, but because the computer's mainly going to be used for gaming, the i5 is basically all I need. And it saves me like $130 sort of thing, but at the same time I'm like, it's only $130. If I just spend that little bit extra, because I'm paying it off over 4 installments sort of thing, it only adds on like an extra $40 a fortnight for the payment sort of thing. So it's just like, is it really that much? You can just get the i7 but yeah, at the same time I look at the differences between the CPUs and there's only like 5 to 8 difference in frame rates when it comes to frames per second between the two. So it's like, is it really worth that much money? Decisions. But the reason why I'm so hung up on it is because it's something that's going to last me for the next 10 years maybe, sort of thing. So it's just like, if I'm going to spend that money, do I go for the extra, yeah, if it's going to be like 10 years worth of... Yeah, but you have, oops, if they pull up, you'll have to and the next door, and then they start me and fighting because I'm not what are you talking? Huh? Now you've just confused me, son. It's still only a kilometer, man. Just walk around your backyard. Sun is slowly going down. It's only going to be a few more weeks. Daylight savings. So it'll be light during spotlight hours again. Alright, 15 minutes to go. Can get another shiny. Yeah, I was just thinking, the reason why people might not be able to full screen the streams now is because I'm doing it in horizontal and not vertical. I mean vertical, not horizontal. You know what I'm saying? Probably not, because I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, it might be the layout of the streams, because most people, when they're streaming games, will be streaming sort of sideways, sort of thing, in landscape instead of portrait. So maybe that's why it can't be full screen. Like maybe they've changed something. You shouldn't say it. That's all good. Like, you don't have to say it, dude. I'm just playing. Ah, okay. But why does he want to fight you? Shouldn't he want to fight your mum? Yeah, it's not good, dude. Hopefully it doesn't escalate into anything. But yeah, fair enough. Like, if you don't feel safe, then you don't have to actually go out and walk around. It's all good. It sucks not feeling like you're safe in your own house, though. Yeah, that sucks, man. And especially since you used to be mates, sort of thing. Unfortunately, stuff happens. Hopefully things can be patched up, though. Just give it time. You know, maybe things will change. Breeze is nice. It's a little bit on the cool side, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. No, I really do like this time of year. Just being able to walk around in the evening and just be nice and warm still. It's yeah. The warmer weather is so much better. I don't understand people that are like, no, I like winter time. It's just like, what is wrong with you? You like the cold? You like being wet and cold and, you know, all the time? What is wrong with it? It's got more to do because they like, you know, snuggling up inside in front of the fire or something like that. That I can understand, but I just like being able to get outside during, you know, the evenings and days and stuff like that. And it's just, I just feel like there's so much more that you can do during the summertime, like the spring and summertime. You can go to the beach and go out and have dinner and all that sort of stuff, and just enjoy the nightlife a lot better. You only feel unsafe because who the mate's with. I won't mention names. It's been going on for 2 years, but we're moving soon. Okay, well, if you're moving soon, hopefully it'll be better, dude. You're only like 18 to 25, any hotter or colder. You have a very specific range of temperature. 25 is good. Like, I can go all the way up to like 35-ish. I mean, that's a little bit warm, but I mean, in the evenings, like warm evenings are awesome. During the day, when the sun's blazing and stuff, it can be a little bit overbearing. But yeah, in the evenings, it's a lot nice. You can go out and just having warm nights, go to the beach at night. Like, nighttime beaching is cool. It's dangerous because you might drown, so but going to the beach at nighttime is always good. It's something that I've always enjoyed. So looking forward to 30 degrees below. Oh wait, below zero. That's not nice. Being in Australia, luckily we don't have temperature that's that cold. I mean, cold for us, like in Melbourne, it's like, you know, it gets cold during the winter time, but at night time during like peak winter period, it may get down to like 0 degrees or maybe 1 or 2 below zero, but that's as cold as it gets. And that's cold enough. Like during the days, it's, you know, can be 10 to 15 degrees maybe, and it's just like, yeah, shouldn't really be complaining. It's not that cold in comparison to like other parts of the world, but it's just like, shush. We're warm weather people. It was 34 here today, and again tomorrow. It got to 27 here today in Melbourne. I think it's going to be fairly similar tomorrow, if not a little bit warmer. Yeah, I think tomorrow is the last day of the warm sort of thing, and then we get a few days where it's going to be below 20 again, I think, but not by much. You know, it's not nice born in the wrong country. Well, usually, like, if you're born in the country, like, you're used to that type of weather sort of thing. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh my god, 35 to 40 degree weather is insane. And it is. It's like hot weather, like Celsius sort of thing. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's like 120 or something like that, Fahrenheit-ish. It's, once you're used to it, it's just like, I mean, it's still hot, but you can bear it sort of thing. Just because you're acclimatized to that sort of stuff. Yeah, usually the people that are born in colder weather, they can tolerate it a lot better than, for instance, I would. I'd just be like, that's too freaking. I am not leaving the house for the next 6 months. It is too cold. For you, it's going to be under 20 until Sunday, and it rains till Thursday. We'll probably have fairly similar weather here in Melbourne then, because usually the weather moves over from South Australia into Victoria. So, I'll actually check. I know tomorrow is going to be nice, but I think, like they said, it's going to change a bit. We've only got 5 minutes left of spotty, so we'll take advantage of the XP and the possible shinies. For you, it's 4 a.m. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I have no control over what time Niantic put the events on. I know it's a horrible time for a lot of you guys in different parts of the world, like time-wise. Hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, once daylight saving starts here and it ends in the States and stuff like that, there'll at least be a 2-hour turnaround, so it'll only be 2 a.m. instead of 4 a.m. Makes it a little bit better. But yeah, this time of year, when it's the opposite way around, it does make it a lot more difficult. The time differences, because of the different time zones, is just, yeah, it's not good. Yeah, most times, but because you live down at the bottom of SA, it's worse. We probably get more Melbourne weather than Adelaide. What, do you live close to the border, or? Because yeah, Adelaide is a bit higher in altitude, sort of, not altitude, but just higher up in the country sort of thing, so their weather is a little bit different. But most of the time, like I said, the weather usually flows across from South Australia into Victoria, so we do have very similar weather. Love the streams though. Oh, thank you, random person. I do appreciate it. Like I said, unfortunately, the time zones do make it a bit difficult. It's the one drawback to living in Australia when you're a streamer and stuff like that. Just trying to stream and cover as many different bases as possible to get people into the streams is just very difficult, just because our time zone is sort of very different from, you know, Europe and America, which are the two biggest sort of watch groups. So you're always going to miss out on one of them, sort of thing, which is unfortunate. Are you like 15 to 20 kilometers? I can see you're like super close to the border. Turn a flashlight on so I can see where I'm walking. It's gotten just a little bit dark now, as you guys can tell. I've disappeared from the stream. Yeah, I haven't been to South Australia in years. I used to go to Beachport on a semi-regular basis when I was a child for like holidays with either my grandparents or my parents, sort of thing. But yeah, I haven't been to Beachport in, God, when was the last time I went to Beachport? Probably when I was 6 or 7 years old, maybe a little bit older. So yeah, it's been nearly 30 years, 28 years, 20, we'll just say, you know, close to 30 years since I was last in South Australia. Can't believe you're even up. Yeah, I'm always up at that time of night. So for me, it's normal being up at like 4 a.m. As I was saying before, I didn't go to bed until like 10 a.m. this morning. Like I was already up. It was around that 6 a.m. mark when I was like, I should really go to bed, but I'm not really tired. So I'll give it another hour or so, and then I ended up staying up for like another 4 hours. And then it got to like 10 a.m. and I'm like, I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. If I stay up, I'm just going to be absolutely dead later on when I'm trying to stream. So I should probably try and get a couple of hours sleep. So yeah, I slept for like 2 hours and then got up. And then was surprisingly chipper for the lack of sleep that I had. Ended up doing a workout. And yeah, I'm fairly awake now. Like I don't feel fatigued or tired or anything like that. But will probably change when I get home. By the time I get home, I'll sit down, have some dinner, and then probably chuck on something on YouTube and just I'll fall asleep. And that's my biggest issue, because I'll end up sleeping for an hour or two when I get home, And then when it actually gets time to go to bed properly, I'm just like, I'm not tired because I've just screwed up my sleep cycle again. Hey, it is 7 o'clock. Damn it. Let's get one last check. All right, well, unfortunately, that is the end of our, well, I won't say unfortunately, just because we did get the shiny. So that is our shiny boy that we got for tonight. But yeah, Spotlight Hour is now done and dusted. How many giraffes did I get? Giraffe and age 0? 120. So 120 Girafarigs. I didn't actually keep track of how much XP I gained because I didn't check how much I had before I started. But we're sitting on 28. Okay, so I'm over 10 million past the XP that I needed for level 46. So that's a fairly nice chunk into the next level. But yeah, 120. I was getting about 3,000 per catch. So what's that? About 150, 200,000 XP, something like that. Not a bad little chunk. You're gonna stay up late because it's too hot to sleep. That's probably the worst thing about summer. When you do get those super hot nights and it's just horrible to try and sleep. It was super bad like last year when we had those really humid few weeks during January and February. Mosquitoes, go away. Gonna get bitten. Yeah, that was horrible. Like sort of during the Australian Open period, I can remember watching the Australian Open. It was like the last week of that, and just sitting there and just dying because of the humidity. It's probably the worst humidity I've seen in ages. Beachport is about 100 kilometers from you. You live about 25 k's from Port MacDonald. It's the closest ocean. And they're trying to put wind turbines in our ocean. We need 10k signatures, but only got 3k, so we might not be able to fish soon if the government gets their way. Oh, that sucks, so you can't actually fish. Oh my god, I got bugs all over my screen because of the light. They're all being like attracted to the screen. Yeah, that sucks if you can't actually fish because of the turbines. Rustling in the bushes. I think I'm gonna get attacked by a vampire ghost pirate. Something sizable in that bush walking around. I'm pretty sure it's just rabbits, but I don't know. It might be a vampire ghost pirate. Giant spider or something like that. That's the last thing that I think I'd be more terrified of a giant spider than a vampire ghost pirate. I mean, at least I can reason with a vampire ghost pirate. Just be like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, there's no reasoning with spiders. It'll ruin the fishing industry. We have one of the biggest fleets for rock lobsters, crayfish. They'll probably get an exemption, given that there's like not professional fishing, but you know, it's an industry sort of thing. It'll probably be the locals like yourself which end up getting shafted, but they'll probably get exemptions because it's their livelihood. I don't know. Have to play it by ear. Fingers crossed something can be worked out for it though, and you don't get shafted too badly. I mean, it is the government and they do like to screw over people, all in the name of trying to make things better. They end up making things worse. It's pretty much what governments are good at, making things worse. Bugs keep flying into my face. No, it'll destroy the fishing. You should look it up because it just is bad. Okay, Vic as well. We don't really have a huge fishing industry here in Victoria, though. Like it's there, but in comparison to like South Australia and Western Australia and stuff like that, that's where the fishing is more commercialized. Here in Victoria, I mean, like I said, there's a bit of it, but it's not as big as the other two states. It'd be nice if I could actually get some decent spawns. But all this stuff is garbage. I had a wild salamand spawn at my house yesterday. I just opened my game and a wild salamand's popped up and I'm like, bruh. Okay. Unfortunately, it ran from me, which just seems to be the way. The day that they released Johto in the game, like the first release of the Johto Pokemon, I had a wild Tyranitar spawn at my house. It was like one of the very first things that spawned from the generation. Of course it ran from me, but I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, oh my god, like, we've only just got these Pokemon and I've already got a Tyranitar like spawning at my house, and then it ran and I was just like, damn you, why do you tease me like this game? Now I have like a million Tyranitars. But yeah, back in the day. How far do I live from Port Phillip Bay? I live just like 30 k's out of Melbourne, 40 k's out of Melbourne. So I'm a little bit inland. I've never been fishing in the in the bay, like out on a boat or anything like that. I've fished in a couple of the rivers, but yeah, not in the actual bay. I suppose you could consider Williamstown down at the Hotties, because in Williamstown they've got more Newport sort of thing, which is like Newport, Williamstown, neighbouring suburbs. There's the power plants there, so they've got a water outlet because of the it's like a steam powered plant sort of thing. So yeah, they call them the Hotties because the water's a lot warmer there, so there's a lot of fish that sort of congregate around that area. So I've been fishing down there as a kid, so you could consider that part of the bay. But that's the only part of the bay that I've really fished. I haven't been out on a boat or anything like that. And yeah, you don't really get snapper around there. It's more like flatheads and stuff. Flatties are the main thing that you would catch around the Hotties. Hey Woody, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Woody/Slim. Welcome. How you doing? You want to go to Portland, Victoria, and go on Rex Hunt's son's fishing charters? My collection is full. You want to kiss some fishies? Chuck them back? God, that takes me back to the day, like, Rex Hunt's fishing adventures or whatever it was. Because, I mean, that was back before, cable TV was really a thing, so the only stuff that you had to watch was free-to-air television. Good old Rex Hunt. You've had quite the ups and downs right now, but you're trying to get use of your old Discord account to get back into the Discord, as your main was banned due to being... Yeah, you were saying that last time you were in the stream. Unfortunately, people will do that. You need stronger passwords, dude. Make sure you got a different password for every different thing that you... I know it's a pain in the ass, but if you've got the same password for multiple logins, then one thing gets hacked and then everything gets hacked. So, yeah, just try and get stronger passwords so people don't hack into your things. But yeah, that sucks, dude. Fingers crossed you'll get access to this stuff soon. You don't want to kiss the ones you saw. You don't have to kiss the same fish. I mean, that just sounds wrong. It's like, hey, Rexy, hook us up, bro. Just start both, like, making out with a fish. Just handing a fish around the boat. Everybody gets a piece. Sometimes over 100 kilogram bluefin tuna. If we was at Japan, we'd be millionaires. I mean, there's a lot of big fishermen in, like, Australia, sort of thing. You don't have to be in Japan, but... Okay, you've already done that. Good. Good people are learning. I mean, back when I was your age, we didn't have to worry. Like, one main thing that was different is we didn't have to have an account for every single thing that we used online. So you only had a password that you had for like a couple of different things, and it was easy. It was the good old days when you could just use the internet with more anonymity than anything. Like, these days you can't stay, out of, your information is just everywhere. It's the most valuable resource that we have on Earth now. Like, people's personal data is the most valuable commodity, which is just crazy. Digital information is worth more than the gold that we mine out of the ground and all this stuff that we've built civilizations on. And it's just like, bruh. What a crazy time to live in when ones and zeros are worth more than anything else. Yeah, I miss the good old days of the internet, where things were just simple. It was a wild west back in the day. These days, everything's so regimented, and like I said, you can't do anything on the internet without having to have an account to do it. And it's just frustrating, because that's why you have to have 50 million passwords. I mean, if I want to use one thing like one time or, every now and again, why do I need to have an account for? I do have a rank 1 Metatite, so don't think we need that. I'll take the Metatites and Metachans because I do need the candy. Give me more candy. Preferably the XLs, yeah. Game is getting a bit like, is the stream lagging out a little bit? Because the game is lagging, and usually it's because of the internet sort of thing, so the stream might be lagging a little bit. If so, I apologize. It's not too bad. About 300 per person to go on charter, but you might not get nothing but it's well worth it. Well, fingers crossed, dude. Fingers crossed you can catch many a tunas, even though we're sort of driving them into extinction. as we do with a lot of species in the world. But yeah, tuna in general, just because it's so overfished, it's dying out because we're overfishing them faster than they can breed. So that's one of the reasons why they're so expensive these days, just because they're a lot harder to actually find than they used to be. So yeah, we're a pretty good species at destroying the ecosystem, just murdering everything around us for our own, our own gains. Either we're strip mining the planet, or we're stripping the oceans, or we're knocking down forests, like deforestation and everything. It's just, well done, humans. You're doing well. You've only caught 3, been out. One's for $250. Alrighty, we're almost back at the car, so I'll be wrapping it up very shortly. Yeah, but it's been a good night. Beautiful weather. I didn't get eaten by mosquitoes down by the river, which was good. But yeah, like I said earlier, we've got a Genesect tomorrow night, Blastburn Genesect in raids. So if you guys are interested in trying to get a shiny Genesect, shiny Blastburn one, I do need to add more Genesect to my collection. We only have the one shiny, which I got back when they first released the shinies. Since then, any of the other ones that they've released, I just haven't had luck with. No, is Miss Cenobart. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking around, watching the stream. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Or your morning, I should say, because wait, it's morning for you, isn't it? Sames. Depending on where you are in the world, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. You save up your 5 passes. Yeah, so it will actually be shiny, and it'll actually have blast drive, because as again I said it this earlier in the stream, Niantic didn't say anything about Blastburn Genesect not being available until tomorrow. So people have been raiding it. Oh wait, no, it's available. I just the shiny is, I can't remember. It's one or the other. But yeah, they screwed up the whole thing, sort of thing, like usual, and didn't tell people. So yeah, people have been posting up on Twitter that nobody got a shiny and it hasn't had blast drive and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it starts tomorrow, even though we've already had it in raids for a few days now. You'll try and get 1 pass. Oh, good dude. I'm expecting it to be a little bit more popular tomorrow than the last couple of weeks have been, just because we've had the Ultra Beasts and they haven't been shiny. And they're not even the useful Ultra Beasts. I mean, Katana's not too bad, but Celestia is not really the best raid boss. So yeah, the last couple of weeks have been a little bit quiet for 8 hours, just because people haven't been too interested. But the next few weeks should see some decent numbers. Like I said, tomorrow is Blastburn Genesect, and then the next week is the Beasts, which we haven't seen in raids in... Yeah, we haven't had the Beast in raids for a couple of years now. They're one of the most neglected raid bosses. Just for some reason, we just haven't had them for quite a times. Hey, gone, Diana. Welcome in. You have new time. Yes, yeah, I saw that. They posted a notification for that in the chat for me as well the other day. So there's like, what is it? Like 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes was the normal one because that's like 300 seconds. But there's like a minute and 10 minutes or something like that now as well. I can't remember the exact times because I don't moderate my own chat. That's what you guys are here for. But yeah, there's some new times, which is good. 10 seconds to 24 hours. Thank you. So yeah, I don't think the 24-hour one's really going to get used that often, but the 10-second one could be helpful, sort of thing, just to make people behave. Because we get some spammers every now and again, especially during the raid hour streams when people are trying to get me to invite them to raids. It's like, yes, calm down. I'll get you into a raid. Just hold your horses. You don't need to spam the chat. Please never time you out. Ooh, as long as you behave yourself. No, you guys are little regulars. Like you know what to do and what not to do, sort of thing. Like I said, it's mainly people that come in during raid hours that are just spamming the chat to get me to invite them to raids, and then every now and again we get a troll or something that pops into the stream that is just saying stuff that they shouldn't be saying, or just again spamming the chat for no reason. But it's good. We don't really get that very often, sort of thing. Like even during the GoFest streams, that's the one I'm thinking of. When we had a significant amount of people in the streams, didn't really put up with any spammers. There was a troll or two that popped in, but usually, like these days, the auto moderation stuff usually like automatically blocks their messages, sort of thing. So once they realize that their messages aren't getting through, they just leave, pretty much. Just it's good. The YouTube have done a pretty good job of limiting the amount of trolls and spam and stuff like that you get into the streams, for the most part, without the moderators having to do anything. But when they do get through, like I said, you guys are here to take care of stuff, which is, and as soon as you put in your message gets blocked, dude, it's like YouTube doesn't like sexy girls apparently. Damn you, YouTube, what is wrong with you? You haven't seen them in it. Yeah, I mean, those bots hasn't been an issue for quite a while. They did a big crackdown on getting rid of the bots, which is good. I added a nice message on Discord for you. It's a tiny Ninetales. I'll have to jump on the Discord server because I haven't been on there for a week or so. So I'll have to jump on and have a little squiz at what's been going on. Yeah, as I said, I still need to buy these computer parts. I'll probably do it tonight. I know I said that the other night as well, but yeah, if I order them tonight, hopefully I'll get them by Friday. And I'll be able to do the build on the weekend because we've got community day on the weekend as well. So it's Grubbin community day on Sunday, I'm pretty sure. Is it Sunday? Sunday. Little grabbers. Saturday. Okay, so it's on Saturday. I'm glad I checked that. All right, so yeah, we got that on Saturday. So yeah, if I get them on Friday, I can probably build up the computer on Friday. Stream on Saturday for Com Day rather, and then Sunday we can probably do a Starfield stream. Hopefully I'll get the parts and that'll all work out. It'll all be good. Yeah, cool. So we got our next few days set. So yeah, tomorrow night is Genesect. Sunday is Grubbin. Sunday will hopefully be Starfield. If not, it'll be on Monday. If I don't get the parts by Friday, I should get them on Monday. So yeah, maybe not Monday because it depends on how long it takes to build up the computer. Shouldn't take too long. I know what I'm doing, so it's just a matter of ripping out the old parts, putting in the new parts, and don't have to install Windows or anything. That stuff is already set up. It's just the new parts replacements sort of thing. So yeah. Yeah, it should be good. Alrighty. Well, we are done with tonight. But yeah, we got the shiny, which is good to see. Hopefully we can keep that going. So it's Growlithe next week for Spotlight Hour. I thought that was this week, but yeah. Growlithe is next week. I do know what next week's Spotlight Hour is. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into Starfield properly because I still haven't advanced the story at all. I've just been doing like planet surveying, and I'm going to start doing some outpost building and stuff like that. I bought a couple of homes. One of them I'm going to turn into basically a storage shed, and the other one's going to be a house that I actually live in. And yeah, it'll be nice to actually advance the story just because at this point, I still don't really know what's going on in the game because I haven't advanced far enough into the story. Like I know what's going on, I just haven't, I'm still at that point in the story where it's just like, I don't know, this game just hasn't really been producing much at this point because I'm not really doing much for the story wise. But once I get a bit further into the story, hopefully it'll pick up a little bit. But yeah, I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking about the differences between Starfield compared to Fallout and the Elder Scrolls universe, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there's something missing from the Starfield universe, and it's just, yeah, it hasn't got what the other two universes have got. Like in Elder Scrolls, you've got that whole fantasy reality sort of stuff, and the worlds look so much better, sort of thing, because everything's. I don't know. I won't go into detail about it because I was thinking about I might do a video about it or something. What Starfield's missing in comparison to like I almost said Far Cry, Fallout, and uh, the Elder Scrolls. My God, my brain stopped working. Once again, you got your spider show it this weekend. A spider show. Don't like it. Don't want to know about your spider show. You can go do your spider show, and you don't need to tell me. A spider show. What is it, like a beauty pageant for spiders? But yeah, there's just something that's just. I feel like there's something that's missing from Starfield that just wasn't in the other two universes, sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully it picks up a bit, and I'm just like, okay, now this has got some lore behind it, and it's a bit more interesting than I thought. But yeah, at this point, I don't think I've played far enough into the game yet to really get the full experience of the game. So once I've got a bit more of an experience in the game, I'll be like, okay, we'll be able to compare them a bit better. You won't. That's all you're saying. You've been waiting for ages to meet your friends more than anything. Well, nice. It's always good to catch up with friends. Your spider pig. No spider pigs. No, thank you, Surrey Bob. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Before you guys start posting spider pics. But have I found a duck yet in Starfield? No, no ducks. Don't think there's going to be ducks in Starfield. But I have a whole bunch of random stuff that I've just stolen, and just I have it in my house laying on the floor now because I'm going to decorate the house a bit better. I just haven't got around to it, so I've just got stuff laying on the floor of my house waiting to be put somewhere. It's just like real life. Just like, oh, I'll figure out what I'm doing with that later. For now, it can just sit over there in the corner. See you tomorrow. No worries, Becky. Have a good one. There is. Oh, you've seen two people find a duck. Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to find a duck then. All right, that can be a mission. Find a duck and stuff. That could be the name of the next stream. Let's find some ducks in space. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night for Raid Hour. So enjoy your morning, evening, noon, or night. Stay safe. Happy hunting. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already, even though you guys are. But, got to do the usual YouTube jargon. And, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Genesect. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So until then, peace out. Have a good evening. Good morning. I already said all that, but whatever. Catch you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye bye.